So Suyuti said that he found another dalil to do with what reported by Al-Bayhaqi, rahimahullah. He said, Anas, may Allah be pleased with him, that the Prophet ﷺ sacrificed after prophethood. After the prophethood, he sacrificed for himself animal as if he was a baby. Though it was reported that his grandfather Abdul Muttalib has sacrificed in the 7th day of his birth. And Aqiqah is not to be repeated. So this is taken as the Prophet ﷺ is showing thanking for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala by making sacrifice, means making walima again. It means he himself here making walima for his own birth. I mean, and what is the celebration? Is walima. People come, sit down, sacrifice some animals and have food and read, pray on the Prophet, read Quran, be generous to one another, read prayer in jama'ah and congregation. So what's wrong with that? Nobody will have a common sense and will judge that this is bid'ah unless there's something wrong with him. Alright? But all the mainstream scholar of Islam, they said it's okay. We know very well, it's only a guy 700 years ago, he came and said no, and followed by another guy, and these are the abnormal people, and we should not be following them, because these guys called their 33 scholars who are mainly in the Middle East, causing a lot of hurt, a lot of problem, and they turn their society into a lot of hardship and bankruptcy, because they take it to narrow-minded thought, and they keep repeating this day in, day out. This is not a way to conduct. Even if suppose you don't like Mawlid, okay, leave the people alone. They do what they want. Okay, but you go fight and start insulting the people, and sometimes you go as far as insulting the Prophet ﷺ, put words in his mouth or try to judge him. Here, the Prophet doing his own walima, his own sacrifice, and this is reported in Bayhaqi, and this is Hafiz to say, look, I found that. Because this is what the scholars do. In about 500 years ago, the people start doing Mawlid, including kings and sultans and the whole army of Islam. And the ulama found all this. Let me explain to you. In the early generation, like Bilal, you know how he punished, how they were under hardship. They cannot be under this hardship and go celebrate a party. Of course not. So then the generation after that were busy collecting the Quran and Hadith and. So they working very hard, spreading Islam. Then when the Ummah grow and they start relaxing, they can do more celebration. Nothing wrong with that. So he said this will be understood from it that the Prophet ﷺ is thanking Allah that He sent him as mercy for the worlds. And this is also Sharia for the Ummah, since he used to make salah on himself. So it is likeable mustahab. We are not saying fard, mustahab. Like if somebody doesn't do it, it's okay. But if you do it, you will get reward for all the good deeds you are doing that day, and for your good intention. Because you are rewarded by intention. Your intention is to celebrate the Prophet and to love him, all in keeping with the Islamic spirit. By thanking to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, by gathering for his Mawlid and feeding people and all these good things to get you near to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and showing happiness. Hadith al-Bayhaqi صححه الحافظ أحمد بن الصديق رحمه الله في الهداية. In his book al-Hidayah, in تخريج al-Hidayah, he said it's sahih. So this is, so far we mentioned 5 dalils. Number 6, الحافظ السيوطي said في الحوى أيضا يستفاد منه فعل الشكر لله على ما به في يوم معين من إسداع نعمة أو دفع نقمة، ويعاد ذلك نظير ذلك اليوم من كل سنة. والشكر لله يحصل بأنواع العبادة كالسجود والصيام والصدقة والتلاوة، وأي نعمة أعظم من النعمة التي فيها بروز النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم رحمة العالمين. So Suyuti is saying what we understand from this, that thanking Allah in a particular day for something happening in a particular day, for His favor, or to save us from hardship, we can repeat it in that day of every year to thank Allah again and again. And this thanking having with prostration to Allah, fasting, being charity, and reciting Quran, and so forth. And what is the best favor then? Allah sent us the Prophet who appeared in this life as the Prophet of mercy. So we should found this day and do it. And this will also, in keeping with the story of the day of Moses, Yawm Ashura, in which the Prophet ﷺ also recommended that we fasted to thank Allah for saving Moses from the malice of the Jew when they slandered him of something he didn't have. As-San'ani said in his book Subul al-Salam, regarding explanation of the hadith, ذَلِكَ يَوْمٌ وُلِدْتُ فِيهِ وَيَوْمَ بُعِثْتُ, the day, and this is a day which I was born and also I was sent. He said the reason, the Sharia reason of fasting that day he was born, and a day where he was sent. And we know he was born on that day, which means we have to treat this day with respect by doing extra worshipping, by fasting and getting closer to Allah by all manners of good deeds.